Everyone, this video is going to focus on how to do bivariate quantitative data on TI84. So I'll demonstrate how to input two variable data into the calculator, into the lists, how to create scatter plots, how to get the correlation coefficient. All right, so let's begin. Let me move my video there. All right, so first thing we want to do is we want to hit the stat button on our calculator. And then in the edit menu, we're going to choose number 1, edit. Okay. And then you get a little spreadsheet. It looks a lot like an Excel spreadsheet. So you've got columns where you're going to put the values of certain variables. Okay. So for list 1, I'm going to go ahead and type in all the internet users per 1,000 people values. Okay, and then in list 2, I'll input the life expectancy values. Almost there. Okay. All right. So that's just the data entry. Okay. All right. Next, let's create a scatter plot. Okay. So in Excel, scroll over here, we have this nice scatter plot, which has the number of internet users per 1,000 people on the x-axis and life expectancy on the y-axis. So on the TI84, I don't know how well you can see this, but in blue letters it says stat plot. Okay, so you're going to hit the blue second button and then the y equals button to take you to the stat plots menu. Okay. You can create up to 3 plots at a time. We only need to make 1 right now, so I'm going to choose plot number 1. First thing that we need to do is turn it on. So turn it on. And then there's like 6 different icons here. The first is a scatter plot. The second is a line graph. We don't really focus much on those in AP Stats. A histogram, modified box plot with outliers, okay, a unmodified box plot that wouldn't show outliers. Again, we wouldn't use that one. And then I think this is a normal probability plot at the end. Okay. All right, so it's already on the scatter plot icon, so we can just go ahead and go down to the X list. So it wants to know which column or which list has the X values, and that was list 1. And then Y list is going to be list 2. That's where we stored the Y values. Okay. And then we should just be able to, then we're going to hit zoom now. And then number 9 is the zoom stat. Okay. All right. So there's our nice scatter plot. Okay. It does not put the values on the axis, right? So we don't really have a scale there. But you can hit trace, and then it'll pull up a cursor, and then you can go from point to point and then see what its 2 values are. Okay, so the X and Y coordinates show up on the bottom. Okay. All right. So there's our scatter plot. Okay. So next, let's get the correlation coefficient. Okay. Now, before we do this, we need to turn on a specific feature of the calculator that is not, on by default. And so we need to go to the catalog. Okay, so let me exit out of my graphing window back to the home screen. Okay. All right, so if you hit second and then 0 on your keypad, right, you're going to pull up the catalog. Okay. And the feature that we need to turn on is called the Diagnostics. So the catalog is like an alphabetized list of all the different commands in the calculator. So if you hit, where's the letter D? Okay, so like the X inverse button, right? That'll take you straight to the D portion of the catalog. And then you can just hit the down arrow to find the diagnostic. Okay, so you can turn diagnostic off, which by default it is off. And then you can hit this one to turn the diagnostics on. So we're going to select it, and then you have to press enter to execute it. Okay, so now the diagnostic features are on. We can get the correlation coefficient. All right, so let's get it. All right, so press the stat button. Okay, go to the calculate menu right there. And then we're going to choose option number 8. Okay, so that would be linear regression, A plus BX. Okay, so we haven't gotten to linear regression yet, but that's kind of the next topic is, once we have a scatter plot, how do we find the line of best fit, right? The line that would summarize kind of the overall pattern we see in the scatter plot. Okay, so let's choose, and so I know maybe you noticed that option 4 also says linear regression, but the format of the equation is not the way that we use in statistics. So AX plus B, which would be equivalent to MX plus B, that's like how we write lines in, say, algebra, but in stats, we put the constant term first and the variable term second. So something, a little bit of change that you need to get used to. Okay, option 8, linear regression. Okay, again, it's going to ask for where are the X values and the Y values. So they're in list 1 and list 2. Okay, and that's really all you need to do, and just hit calculate. Okay, and then we'll ignore everything else now except for the last value where it says R, right? Correlation coefficient is 0.8034. Okay, and let's go to Excel, right? Just to confirm, if I write correlation command, select the X values and select the Y values. Right, you see it's the exact same, 0.8034. Okay. Right. So that's how you would do it on a TI84. So I hope you found this video useful.